All right, let's see. It works. Yeah, it looks like it. All right. So I wanted to come on here and yeah, we're good. Talk about something that's kind of got been on my nerves and the fact that nobody's talking about it. As you can see here, the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Uh, so it happened in Baltimore, you probably know, back in March of 2024. So we're coming up on almost 2 years. That's a long time. So here it says it collapsed after being struck by a cargo strip or ship, and so yeah, it caused a little bit of the bridge structure to fail, and as you remember, all of the bridge collapsed at once, not just that one little section that was hit by the bridge. Um, They have a new design. I think the new design came out early this year, and they want to create all these new designs, spend all this money on designing it rather than actually rebuilding it. I can only imagine the headache people that live on that area of the Delmarva Peninsula are having. Uh, Critical infrastructure component for Maryland. Uh, Now, there's other reasons why I believe that the bridge was hit and collapsed, and that caused the port in Baltimore to shut down for almost 2 weeks. And during the 2 weeks, a lot of things were going on in that port. And that port's very important uh, for the East Coast for a lot of different goods. So they have the new design. So let's see what they're going to do as far as the design. We already went over what collapsed at 948. Uh, let's scroll down and see if they got any pictures. Oh, look at this. Wow, that looks beautiful. So, what would be the price tag for something that magnificent? Uh, Cable stay design. I always like the cable bridges. And honestly, it almost looks reminiscent to something on the West Coast, except it's a different color and there's no fog. So they're gonna rebuild, visually mimic the original build's architecture. I don't think the original looked as beautiful as that. Honestly, I think the original was an eyesore. And I drove over it maybe one time when I was younger, and the traffic going over it was ridiculous. But it was nice because you got to stop on the bridge and look over and see all the boats and stuff. Uh, two 12-foot lanes each direction. I mean, these are great, but when are they going to start building it? Oh, expected lifespan of 100 years. Let's talk about that. A lot of the bridges in this country are beyond their expected life expectancy. And they think throwing a coat of paint on it to cover up the cracks will do it, and paying off the people to look the other way until you get something significant happen, like that incident in Pittsburgh. But here we go. Who's paying for it? Let's find that out. Congress passed a deal on federal spending package, which allocated $100 billion for disaster relief, including the entire cost of the new bridge. $100 billion for this new bridge. I don't know if that's all going to the bridge because it says disaster relief, but I don't think of this as a disaster. I think of this as just sheer circumstance. So that's great. The taxpayers are paying for the bridge. So that's a very nice thing for us to do for them. So here we go. What's next? In the spring, demo will begin. I don't know if demo's even finished yet. They're taking it like piece by piece. But immediately after that, the construction will begin. So let's see here. Cost of bridge, Francis. Here we go. Let's see what the cost. Okay, 1.3 to 5.2 billion for the replacement. But I wanted to know what the original cost was for the original bridge. Here we go. Let's see what the progress is. I love these little AI things. They're so handy. So the bridge rebuild project is currently underway and pre-construction activities on the construction's new piers. We already discussed the features. Not really, we just looked at them. Cost of the project has increased significantly. Go freaking figure. The estimates now from 4.3. So I wonder what the original estimates were. The new bridge is expected to open to traffic in late 2030. So we've got another 5 years, 4 years. That's crazy. I know other countries like China build bridges in 9 months, less than a year. You look at all these old stone structures around this country, and the building dates were a year, and not nearly that cost. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. The bridge is going to cost that much, but I still want to know what the original bridge cost back in the day. Of course, it's so hard to figure it out. Price, original. Probably got type correct. Original. There we go. Oh, that's why. All right. Francis E. or Francis E. Scott Bridge. All right. History. You learn about the history of this bridge. Opened in 77. Uh, Baltimore, Star Spangled Banner, obviously. That's why it's named that. Uh, wow, 12.4 million vehicles annually. That's a lot. So there it is, March 26th. It suffered the catastrophic failure, which caused the whole bridge to collapse, not just that one little section. You can always go back and watch the videos. I might play you one here shortly, just to show you. Uh, 47 years after it collapsed. Profound loss for the community. Nope. Yeah, we know that. So Let's go here and see if we can figure out the original cost. Oh, here we go. $4 toll suspended. Construction. Ah, here we go. $220 million bond issue, equivalent of $2 billion in 2024. Ah, that was for the Chesapeake Bay Bridge too. So they allocated some of the money for that as well. But yeah, Army Corps of Engineers approved the tunnel. Oh wait, no, that's for, yeah, we're getting off topic here. But yeah, the bridge is taking forever to fix. I don't even believe it has started. Let's go back to the progress. Yeah, it's currently underway in pre-construction. So here we are. Let's bring this up. All right. So here you can see the bridge piling here and the piling here. This is the one that gets hit. Let's speed it up a bit. There you can see the ship goes dark and it makes that poetic right hand turn. Speed it up. Yeah, you can see it turning right into the piling. You can see the smoke coming out. Yeah, it was obviously a malfunction on the boat that caused it to stop working. Oh, there it is. Boom. And then boom, collapse, collapse. It's as if, all right, I'm gonna have to pause and I'm gonna slow it down. Go back, watch. There, right here. And then this snaps. And then this part right here snaps on the far right. And I've never seen a bridge fall like that. Even that one bridge from back in the day where it's getting hit with the wind fell apart. It didn't fall apart like that. So yeah, the proof's in the pudding, and it's taken them forever to clean up all this wreckage for some reason. Uh, Unlike 9/11, where they clean the wreckage up instantly, this kind of they just let sit and rust in the water, and they're still in pre-cleanup mode. So yeah, it's pretty interesting the things you find out on the back half of significant incidents just like this. So here we go. This fancy. Reconnect, revitalize, reimagine. The three R's. Trusted source for all things related to the bridge rebuild. Some cool little facts. 600 foot tall. Wow. Okay, here we are. We're technically still in the fall of 2025. Test pile program began. Looks like they got some internship programs. All thanks to your tax dollars. Voice and vibration monitoring. I can only imagine what that's doing to the local fish and aquatic life. Demolition of existing bridge began. So that began last summer. So the bridge collapsed in March of 2024, and it's taken them since that last summer to start taking it out of the water. Smooth Waters Initiative launch, aka they're going to destroy all of the shellfish in that area, probably the crabs. Pardon Our Progress campaign. Yeah. They always tell you what they're doing within the words that they use, like the Patriot Act. It went against the Patriots. They do nothing for the Patriots. So when it says our progress, that means there is no progress. Let's see, spring of this year. All right, we got the issues for the permits. 1 year commemoration. Yeah, and you're just now getting the permits. How sad is that? Spring. This is when it happened. So, oh yeah, they launched the website. You got to launch the website as fast as possible to get that money rolling in. And yeah, let's see the progress. So we've got looks like the pilings. Wanted to see the pilings. Well, dang, I ain't gonna show me. Oh yeah, that's how videos. Rotella.
Are you guys here for the halftime show?
Oh, no. We're here to help people customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
So
Check out the Flotilla, a floating construction site on the Patapsco River for the Key Bridge rebuild.
6 or 7 barges or pieces of equipment that comprise the flotilla that make up about 2 acres worth of floating real estate out in the water.
Each barge carries key equipment to support test pile driving.
Almost like a floating factory that allows us to move from one piece of production to the next.
There are barges for cranes, power packs, test pile positioning, and for storing the steel test piles, just to name a few.
We have a pile barge, which is almost 20,000 square feet of floating real estate, which houses our piles before they're picked up.
The flotilla's flexible setup is rearranged as needed to streamline construction tasks.
The flotilla is a complex set of systems that all work together in executing the test pile program.
Learn more about the rebuild process at keybridgerebuild.com.
Interesting.
Check out the Flotilla.
So yeah, the renderings. So this here is obviously what it's going to look like once it's done in 2030. So we have something to look forward to. Look at that. It's a beautiful evening. I would drive across that at night. So this bridge here is one of many bridges that's in need of rebuild, to be honest with you. There's a lot of bridges in my area where they just show up and slap some paint on them, call it a day, and you just never know. I know the infrastructure of this country is terrible. U.S. undergoing significant changes to historical investments, bipartisan infrastructure law. Hmm. So looks like the Democrats and the Republicans are on board. It's a shame it took everything to get to where it's at for them to jump on board. So here it's saying as of 2025 infrastructure report card indicates improvements in various infrastructure categories with grades ranging from B, I call bullshit, sorry for my language, in ports, to D in stormwater and transit systems. Okay, I'll give them the D, but that B is I don't know. They're getting gravy trained through. So over 60,000 projects have been funded across the country due to your tax dollars. Um, However, there remains one or $3.6 trillion investment gap projected over the next decade. What that gap means is there's not enough money to fund these 60,000 projects that they speak of. But they have the projects going, they're just hoping that the trillions of dollars will be there. Which I hope it will, but honestly, I don't think it is because it hasn't. So why do you think it is going to start now? The infrastructure plays a crucial role in the U.S. economy. No duh. Uh, Robust investment historically linked to economic growth. So that's why our economic growth is so piss poor, is because we have yet to invest in our infrastructure for the last 20 plus years. I can't think of a solid infrastructure project that this country's undertaken. It's always a rebuild effort or sending the money overseas to help some other country rebuild their country while we sit here in shambles. But that's besides the point. AP. This is, in my opinion, not real news, but we're going to read it anyways. U.S. infrastructure improved with Biden era spending, but there's a long way to go. Just like that gap I was telling you about. Oh, look at this poor guy down here laying pipe. Copper, it's worth something now. So, definitely not going to subscribe to you, AP. All right, here we go. Once every 4 years, report card on the upkeep of America's infrastructure gave it a C. Uh, that's more believable than that B that the other page was showing, but it's up slightly from previous reports. Um, they're claiming it's due to investments made during Joe Biden's presidency, but if those investments took place, then that report card grade should be a little bit higher, like the B that the other one was saying. But yeah, this here, yeah, that's from Hurricane Helene. The infrastructure down there had to be completely rebuilt, and that area really got messed up. Slowly coming back. And here we go. Building a better America. Did you feel like he built a better America under his 4 years? 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act provided 550 billion in new infrastructure investments. So that was 2021. Very beginning of his presidency. And all of those infrastructure investments to the tune of $500 billion. And I didn't see, feel, or experience any of it within the infrastructure that I live around. It is set to expire next year, or here next month, hopefully. Another 30 billion came out in the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act, which, like I was saying before, it's in the name. The Patriot Act did nothing for patriots other than screw them. This one here, Inflation Reduction Act, did nothing but increase the inflation. So just remember that anytime you see these names that they give whatever they're calling it, it's the opposite. It's called projection. So anyways, let's see here. Uh-oh. Dirty Donald. His administration targeted some of the green policies, which moved it from a C minus to a D. That's funny. Of course it would. Or a D plus, which means C minus to D plus. With the way they're grading things nowadays, that's D plus is still, you might as well be getting an A. But yeah, that's about the national park staffing. The Biden administration used all that money that we're talking about up here on things like hiring too many staff for the parks. And now they had to fire them. So now the next guy that has to fire them looks bad. But that's just how it is. It's politics. I try not to get too involved with it, even though it encompasses our lives. It's like a necessary evil. Sometimes you have to look at it, but it's better just to look away. But when it's affecting the finance and the infrastructure within this country, I get really mad and I really want to get not necessarily involved, but I just want to get this out here just to let people know that there's something going on within the country below the surface, not very far below the surface actually. But 50,000 water utilities upgraded. Uh, that sounds like a lot, but in actuality, it's not. This here is a lot, 625 billion over 2 decades. So the drinking water is C minus. I know most cities, I wouldn't drink the water if you paid me. Where I live, I'm very fortunate to have reservoir right up the mountain that provides us with fresh spring water, and I don't really have to worry about that. But the people in the cities and other municipalities, the water supplies are contaminated, and you can do anything and everything to the water once it comes out the pipe, but you can't do but so much to it. All right, I'm gonna finish this up here soon. But yeah, so they're C minus across the boards. They're giving them a C minus because they think D plus sounds bad, but C minus and D plus are basically the same thing in my book. Um, Goodbye AP. So anyways, I just wanted to hop on, say hello.